Hi and welcome to another quick edit video. This time I want to share with you the editing process for this early morning winter image, and let's jump right in with the before and after pictures. So before I can start the editing, I need to merge those three HDR images into one. Therefore I am just selecting all three of them and right click on it, then go to Photo Merge HDR, and here I just leave the auto line setting checked. I don't want Lightroom to do the auto settings, so I just merge them with those settings you can see here. Alright, that's the merged HDR image, and first I want to check the remove chromatic aberration setting, and I also want to enable the profile corrections. And then I want to balance out the exposure because right now it's way too overexposed, so I'm reducing the highlights. And to get some contrast, I also want to reduce the blacks and maybe even also some of the shadows. And now I want to fix the white balance because I think it's looking too cold. So I think I'm going with the shade preset, which looks way better for me. And I think I also want to reduce some clarity to give the whole image some kind of misty blur effect. And then it's time for the local adjustments. First I want to get some more contrast in the grass in the foreground. Therefore I have already applied a few gradiated filters. To get some contrast, I'm going to increase the clarity by 100, and I also add some contrast. And I'm also adding some of the white balance temperature to warm it up a little bit. Then I have two gradiated filters on the sides of the image. That's to darken those two upper corners, and therefore I just decrease the exposure a little bit. And I'm also decreasing the whites. And that's what I'm doing on both sides. So again, I'm decreasing the exposure and decrease the whites. Next I have applied two radial filters. One is for the whole image, let's say for the main subject of the image, and that's the fog in the middle ground you can see there. Here I want to warm it up a little bit, so I'm changing the temperature again. And then I want to slightly increase the whites. Now the second radial filter is for the upper area where the sun is. Here I want to add some kind of bloom effect, therefore I am increasing the blacks. Well, that was a bit too much I think. And I also want to change the color temperature. Alright, that's it for the local adjustments. Now I want to do some color grading. First I want to increase the color saturation of the orange and yellow color tones. And I want to remove a lot of the green ones. And now comes the most fun part with the split toning. Here I want to give the highlights a warmer color, so I'm choosing something in this area here. And then for the shadows I'm going with something colder. And here I want to reduce the strength of this effect. I could even change the balance a little bit to give the highlights some more priority for this effect. So as you can see, the highlights get a little bit more saturated. And of course I'm also applying a lot of sharpening. And last but not least, I'm also adding some vignetting. And that was it for the Lightroom part. Now I'm switching over to Photoshop. Okay, I don't think there's much to do, but first I want to check the Nik collection. And here first I want to apply a polarization effect just to give my image some more saturation. But I really don't want to overdo it here. Okay, next I think I want to add some more contrast in the foreground. Again, I'm using the Nik collection for that. And here I just use the Pro contrast filter. And then I just add some of the correct contrast. Now I might want to add some vignetting, or I could also add some glow. That depends on what looks better. So again, I'm using the Nik collection for that. Actually, I don't think I'm adding a vignetting, but I want to add some glow, so I'm using the classical soft focus filter. And here I'm going with the third soft focus preset. Now one last thing I want to do is to mask out this glow effect in the shadow areas you can see in the foreground. So I'm just applying a layer mask and choose a black brush, and then I just brush over those dark areas. And that was the editing for this image. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you'd like to see more content like this, then feel free to subscribe to my channel. And thank you for watching.